Called my parents to say my husband had passed away, but they said, "We're busy at your sister's birthday." I was heartbroken. A few days later, they showed up asking for 50% of his inheritance. That's when my 8-year-old daughter stepped forward, handed them an envelope, and said, "This is what you came for." When they opened it, their hands began to shake. Update 1. My name is Rachel, and for the last 3 years I've been watching my husband James slowly slip away. When we first found out he had stomach cancer, it felt like the ground had been pulled from under me. James was only 40 years old, doing well in his job as an investment banker, and we had a sweet 10-year-old son named Paul. We thought we had many happy years ahead of us. The only small comfort in this nightmare was that James' good income meant we could afford the best treatment possible. We flew to different specialists across the country, tried new therapies, and did everything we could, no matter the cost. But as time passed, it became clear that the treatments were only giving us more time, not a cure. Through all of this, James' parents, Lauren and Brian, were always there for us. They lived just 15 minutes away, and helped without being asked. "Rachel, we'll pick Paul up from school today," Lauren would say on days when James had treatments. "Don't worry about dinner either. I made extra lasagna." At night, Paul would sometimes pull at my sleeve, while I tucked him into bed. His eyes were full of worry and hope. "Mom, when is Dad going to get better?" he'd ask. I never knew how to answer that. How do you tell a child that his dad is dying? So, I would just stroke his hair and say, "The doctors are doing their best, sweetie." My own parents, Christina and Jacob, were a different story. They lived just as close as James' parents, but it felt like they were miles away. "Mom, can you pick up Paul from school today? James had a bad reaction to chemo, and Lauren has a doctor's appointment," I asked one day. "Oh Rachel, I'm really sorry," my mom replied. "But we promised to help your sister with apartment hunting today. You know how Jacqueline gets when she's stressed." It was always about Jacqueline. That's how it had been my whole life. When I was 7, my parents didn't come to my school play, because Jacqueline had a cold. At my high school graduation, they left right after the ceremony, to go to Jacqueline's dance recital, even though she was just part of the group, and not the main dancer. Over the years, I got used to being second. James became my real family, and his parents treated me more like their daughter than my own parents ever did. So, when James' health got worse last month, I prepared myself for the end, surrounded by the people who truly cared about me. The night James died, I was holding his hand. His breathing had slowed down hours earlier, and the hospice nurse had told me it wouldn't be long. "Rachel," he whispered, his voice barely there. "Take care of Paul. You're the strongest person I know." Those were his last words. I sat there for hours, still holding his hand as it slowly turned cold. I couldn't believe that the man I had spent 13 years with was really gone. Lauren and Brian, James's parents, came to the hospital within an hour after I called. Their faces were filled with the same pain I was feeling. "We're here, sweetheart," Lauren said as she hugged me. "We'll always be here." That night,